investigator. After the Army, she attended college full-time and obtained her bachelor's degree in health and fitness science. Shortly after that, she decided to further her career in law enforcement and attended the police academy at the Greene County Career Center, which was the beginning of what brought her here to Fairfield Township. Caitlin expressed that she is very thankful for the opportunity to be here and is excited about her new journey.
You can clap. At this time, the trustees will vote on the resolution to hire Caitlin.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Birdie?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemeyer?
Yes, that resolution passes. Congratulations.
You can clap again. At this time, Mrs. Shannon Harkmeyer, the board chair, will swear Caitlin in.
And raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Caitlin Fugit,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will serve my department with respect and dignity,
that I will serve my department with respect and dignity,
serve and protect the citizens of Fairfield Township
serve and protect the citizens of Fairfield Township
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
and uphold the Constitution of the United States,
and uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the rules and regulations of the Fairfield Township Police Department,
the rules and regulations of the Fairfield Township Police Department,
and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
do the duties of Township Police Officer and Township Constable
do the duties of Township Police Officer and Township Constable
for the Township of Fairfield
for the Township of Fairfield
in Butler County,
and Butler County,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
during my continuance in said office.
during my continuance in said office.
We'll now move over here for pictures, and family and friends, you're welcome to step up for pictures as well.
And if you want to say a couple of, introduce your family, friends, say a couple of words before we do that.
Okay. So I have my cousin Alexis, my friend Kenzie, my girlfriend McKenna, my friend Nathan, my father Scott, my stepmom Deidre, and my stepbrother Devin. I'm nervous, just bear with me a little bit.
All right, thank you. And if you want to take photos with the trustees, family, friends, go ahead. I'll get the picture. Thank you. And thanks to Chief Berger from the fire department, who has graciously opened up the training room at the fire department next door. There will be refreshments and snacks. Eat a lot of cake because they messed up the order up and they gave us a full sheet of cake as opposed to a half sheet of cake. So there's plenty of cake to eat, especially you, Ryan. That will conclude the hiring ceremony. If you guys want to go over to the fire department, that would be great. Or if you want to stay here for the rest of the meeting, that's good too.
And we'll do the fire swearing in and then they'll be over as well. But you're welcome to stay or go, whatever you choose. Okay, we will move on to the fire resolutions, please. May we please have resolution 2460?
Resolution 2460, authorizing the appointment of full-time firefighter paramedic Drake Oros to the Fairfield Township Fire Department at an hourly rate of $22.20 on a 24/48 shift with a 1-year probationary period.
I move to adopt 24-60.
Second?
Any discussion? Shall we pass all of them before you comment?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Trustee Birding?
Yes.
Trustee Mackabee?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that motion passes. May we have resolution 2461, please?
Resolution 2461, authorizing the appointment of full-time firefighter EMT Mason Miller to the Fairfield Township Fire Department at an hourly rate of $20.71 on a 24/48 shift with a 1-year probationary period.
Move to adopt 24-61.
Second?
Mr. Schultz?
Trustee Birding?
Yes.
Trustee Mackabee?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes. May we have the next, that resolution passes. May we have the next resolution, please?
Resolution 2462, authorizing the appointment of full-time firefighter EMT Ashton McCann to the Fairfield Township Fire Department at an hourly rate of $20.71 on a 24/48 shift with a 1-year probationary period.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Trustee Mackabee?
Yes.
Trustee Birding?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes. Chief Berder?
How exciting is tonight, huh? So I'd like to begin by thanking the Board of Trustees as well as Mrs. Vonderhaar. I did it just like the candidate did, for their continued support of our fire department as we continue to grow to meet the demands of our community. I'd like to welcome the Oros, Miller, and McCann families who are all in attendance tonight and thank them for supporting these young men as they pursue what we consider the best job in the world. Your support is vital to their long-term success, and they'll be relying on your support each step of the way. Drake, Mason, and Ashton, if you'll step up here to the podium, please. Drake, Mason, and Ashton have all met the qualifications and testing requirements for the position and stand before you tonight as full-time members of the Fairfield Township Fire Department. At this time, I'm going to have Captain Bauman step to the podium and read 3 short bios on our 3 newest members, and then we will do a badge pinning ceremony.
Wonderful. Good evening. So Drake, this is a 2018 graduate from West Creek High School in Clarksville, Tennessee. Graduated from Fire Rescue Academy in February of 21. And was hired part-time with Fairfield Township in April of 21. Drake graduated from medic school February of this year and became certified in March. Mason Miller is a 22 graduate of Butler Tech High School Fire Program. He's been a member with us since August of 2022. He is currently enrolled in medic school in anticipation of graduation date of August of this year. Ashton is, also a 22 graduate, Fairfield High School, which immediately entered the Fire Rescue Academy shortly after. Ashton joined Fairfield Township Fire Department in May of 23. He is currently enrolled in the fall program to become a medic at Butler Tech with a graduation date of August of 2025.
All right. At this time, Mrs. Harkemaier is going to administer the oath of office. If you 3 will step to the center of the room.
Gentlemen, please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Asher McCann,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of a firefighter
that I will faithfully execute the duties of a firefighter
and paramedic of Fairfield Township Fire Department,
and paramedic of the Fairfield Township Fire Department,
Butler County, State of Ohio,
Butler County, State of Ohio,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will,
preserve and defend
to the best of my ability, protect, preserve, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the United States,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
and the rules and regulations of this township.
and the rules and regulations of this township.
And I furthermore solemnly swear
And I furthermore solemnly swear
to abide by the mission,
to abide by the mission,
vision, and values of the Fairfield Township Fire Department.
vision, and values of the Fairfield Township Fire Department.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, so at this time, the three newest full-time members will have an individual that they've selected come forward to pin their badge, and I'll let them introduce them one at a time.
My girlfriend, Randy Robertson. My little brother, Keaton. My dad, Joe Miller.
Yeah, you guys want to introduce your families before we pick?
I'd like to introduce my Nana.
That would be me.
And mom. Also have some folks. With my dad, little sister Nora, stepmother Ashley, my grandma and grandpa, and then we'll go to Here's my dad, Nana, over there, my mom.
All right, what we'll do now is we'll move to the flag. We'll take pictures with the trustees, and then you can do pictures with your family as well.
We recruited Russ.
No, I don't need that. Yeah.
If the cops haven't gotten to ours, we also have King's Fire.
All right, families?
Sure. Next.
All right, thank you, everyone. You're welcome to stay for the whole meeting. We'd love to have you, but if you want to go have some cake next door, we totally understand that too. So feel free to just stay or go as you like,
Thank you, guys.
and we're going to keep moving with the meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, our first item is the Veterans Memorial update.
Thank you. So the transition from the Veterans Memorial Committee to the township has occurred, and Dell and I have been in conversation. He is ready to step in and find other volunteers. One of the projects we discussed was doing some kind of QR code throughout the different monuments that could be used as teaching tools. Also, a QR code that would explain the history and talk about the committee, the trustees, etc. 2 pieces of granite were ordered as of March 25th. Jim from Laser Imaging said we were about 90 days out from receiving those. At that point, the engraving will begin, but we'll bring that before the board so that you approve anything that would be inscribed. And Fred did give an extensive suggestion as to how many spaces for each plaque and how things should be facing, so I do have that as well. So that's really what I have for the Veterans Memorial. I've talked to Katie Braswell quite a bit. Once they paid everything off for this grant, we'll have about an $8,000 balance. And one more thing, the golf outing. Fred reached out to me about the golf outing for the Jim Carboy, and it happens to fall right about the time of the car show and concert. So I'm going to reach out to Dell to see if he can help because the Carboy family is unable to step up and they're having trouble finding volunteers and taking that on. So more to come on that.
It's a lot of work. Golf outing is a lot of work.
It is. So.
Definitely. Any questions on that?
No.
We have a date for, are we going to have a celebration in 60 days out there?
If you want to rededicate or dedicate
Memorial
the
Day, something?
Oh, Memorial Day, we are partnering with Fairfield City, and I believe you should have all received an email from Mayor Lotus inviting you, but each of our departments will be involved in that parade.
I think we discussed the number of events we are going to have at the memorial, whether we are going to have a Memorial Day and a Veterans Day event. I think that was at a previous meeting. I don't know that we came to a definite conclusion, but I think we talked about maybe having just a Veterans Day parade, an event, since there's so many other Memorial Day events in the area, as to not overtax our veterans that may have difficulty getting to different events. So I don't know that we had landed on having a Veterans Day event at the memorial. I'm sorry, a Memorial Day event at the memorial. I think we were leaning towards just having something for Veterans Day. Please remind me if I'm remembering that differently. Do you remember having that discussion or?
On a blank.
Yeah, because I remember the Veterans Committee that was in place was saying it was a lot of work to try to do multiple events and get all the different vehicles that were going to be involved in the Memorial Day event and try to get it set up and what have you. So I think we talked about, let's just have a Veterans Day because there were not a lot of other Veterans Day parades and things like that. We were trying to establish a tradition of our own, and not many other Veterans Day parades were taking place. And the fact that the schools were in session on Veterans Day a lot of times, but they were not in session on Memorial Day, had us thinking that maybe Veterans Day would be the best option if we were to do just one. So unless there are other thoughts about having multiple events, I think the committee was thinking about not organizing a Memorial Day event, to the best of my recollection. Is that something that you're interested in having on there?
I didn't have anything on my calendar, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss something.
Okay.
I especially like having the Veterans Day activity because the way that the schools are in session, and I think it's a good way to get the kids involved and to let them have that piece of education. So I think it's a good thing to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, anything further?
I think maybe as a township, we could just have a small little recognition of Memorial Day by maybe placing a wreath or something at the memorial, just something minor, not having a big to do, not having all the veterans having to change their plans and what have you to get here. Just an idea. I think it's something that we should talk to Mr. Hodge about, since he's going to be the Veterans Committee Chair, to see what his thoughts are as well.
I like that idea. Okay, so make a note of that, please, and let's follow up. All right, next item, the Belmont Park ribbon cutting.
So Belmont Park, just an update on where things stand. The fence is going to be installed at the playground by April 17th. And the parking lot is scheduled to be installed this month. Mr. Goins has been in touch with Barry Brown Paving. And once both of those things were complete, it would be neat to have a ribbon cutting where the board all came and officially opened and welcomed everyone. So as soon as we have those things, everything down, set, I'll reach out via email to see if we can set a date or we can discuss it at the next meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
Maybe we could go ahead and pick a date early in May,
Absolutely.
something like that.
Do we want to talk dates now?
Is it on this calendar?
I think we get sooner than straw after taking the new parking and stuff. Towards the end of May, what you're talking about?
Sometime in May, I mean, what do you think?
It's possible, because a lot of it depends on the weather. We get rain forecasted next week, after this week.
So you won't see them straw until after the pavement? And how much pavement is there gonna be? How many parking spots?
Is it 6, 7 parking spots? 6, 7 parking spots?
Why don't you let us know when we're close, and then we can put something maybe within a month for that. I mean, it can go till June or
I
July.
got to really get them at the hydro seat and all that stuff.
Okay. Okay, so we'll talk about a date on that at some point. All right, next item, splash pad parks vision.
So I brought that to the board's attention just to see what the will of the board was moving forward. There's been discussion about an amphitheater, a splash pad, an adult playground. So I'm not sure where, and of course, I'm not expecting an answer right now, but we have a simple layout for a splash pad and rough estimates there. And another item in the works that we would like to ask the board to consider is moving from all mulch to all of the rubberized surface. We're finding at Bonneville especially that the mulch is just blowing everywhere and not staying consistent and thick enough and that can present a risk. Like when KLA risk assessment comes out, they look at those kind of things. So we are pricing rubberized surfacing to replace the mulch at both playgrounds. But then I was wondering if we could bring those items back for continued board discussion if there was interest.
I personally like the idea of the rubberized mulch as long as it doesn't get too hot, because I think over the long term, it would probably save us over the mulch that we're buying every year and having to spread every year. Am I wrong, or?
No, I agree with you.
Okay. And I think it looks nicer, it wears better. I like that better.
Our backyard is very windy, and we have
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm interested in learning more about that. Are there other thoughts on that, though?
Yeah, as long as the rubberized surface doesn't get extremely hot,
Right.
I think that would be a concern of mine if we have children playing in bare feet and what have you. If gets too hot, I'm sure the advancement in technologies now is probably that if you have a certain colors, it probably stays cooler. Right?
We have quite a bit of it already over at the Schaefer's Park, and I've not heard any complaints or anything like that. And it is a darker color.
Okay.
So I understand the thoughts of that, yeah.
I mean, if we already have it, then that's great, and it's working.
You have surface over there?
Yeah,
Because you got the loose rubber mulch
No.
really well, because it keeps super. Ours is garnet black.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. Maybe when we talk to the suppliers, if they can provide some data for us on the heat levels that it would generate too. We could probably maybe test the temperature on it this summer too. I don't know if we want to wait that long to get this done, but I too share that concern. We don't want to burn people's feet.
Well, I don't know that I need it to be tested this summer. If the manufacturer is saying
Yeah.
this is safe to use, and
gotcha.
I leave that to your discretion. I trust your judgment, so.
All right.
So pricing, you get pricing, or do we already have that?
We have a couple estimates, I believe, on the rubber mulch.
Okay, and then there were the other things. We've got the splash pad, an amphitheater, adult workout equipment. Is there any interest in looking at any of those things?
Well, I think that we should at least look at what pricing would be for certain things. I like the idea of an adult workout course. I've seen them in other communities. I think that's a great idea. I'm not a huge proponent of splash pads, but I understand the concept, understand the use of them. I think they're very popular. My concern is that if we do move towards a splash pad, that maybe we have it near one of our fire stations so that we have quick response if there's injuries. As opposed to, I know that our park over by the police headquarters, obviously there's first responders there because there's police, but having the EMTs and paramedics nearby might be, if we're going to pick one or the other, I would be in favor of it being at this park here at Heroes Park, since the fire headquarters is right there. That's just my opinion on that. As far as the amphitheater, I know those are quite expensive. I don't know where we are right now in our parks allocation, if that's the best use of our funds. Maybe we should chew off one thing at a time. I know we just expanded our parks in the Belmont area, and we're concentrating. We did a huge expansion at this park, as well as the park at Bonnie Vale. I'm not sure that I can imagine it's going to be near the $500,000 range to put in an amphitheater, and I don't know if that's even including grading to allow proper seating. It might be just the structure itself. I think we already tasked the administrator in getting some information on pickleball courts, and so I think if we're going to make a decision on the pickleball court, one way or the other, maybe an amphitheater should be something we put off for a little bit, and maybe if we decide to do it, maybe allocate some money each year, put into some sort of, I guess, savings account or earmark it for that, and then develop that in years to come, in my opinion.
I like the idea of putting in something that can be used year-round. An amphitheater, I think we might use it sometimes, but I think something like a pickleball court, we'd probably use that a lot more. Our residents and visitors would use that a lot more. Other thoughts?
Well, I think the splash pad, it would be a good addition to either park. It doesn't have to be huge, it just needs to be something that brings the kids out and cools them off. I'm not as concerned about it being away from the fire department as I am, as maybe Mr. Burton is, because you guys mobile, aren't you? And they come from all over, not just at the station, they could be on the road anyway. So, but yeah, I think that and the pickleball would come before the amphitheater. That's where I'm thinking.
All right, so maybe we can get some thoughts and cost estimates and ideas for where they might go. Does that make sense? Is that something we'd like to see?
Yeah.
For those things? Okay. Anything further on that? All right, pickleball courts.
All right, I am going to put up a display of a company that I met with. They actually came out to watch the solar eclipse, which they could not see from their house, and then we met after.
Is that picture during the solar eclipse?
Must be.
I think so.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So you can see the project total, and that is for 2 pickleball courts, and that's with the highest grade. There's 3 different grades. All of the pickleball courts this is game changer. They all have a concrete base, and then there's different types of overlay and acrylics they can use. And the most highly recommended has a 15-year warranty and little to no maintenance. So that made the most sense to me, but I can either scroll through all the different options. That would be kind of tedious today. I could send all of this to the board to take a look at with what I thought made sense and didn't. And then we also are working on other companies. I've heard from one other, and I think Chuck has heard from two, but most of them are so far out, they haven't even been able to come out and give us an estimate. So one thing about Game Changer is they are in what's called Sourcewell, and I am investigating that more. I have a whole, they just sent it today, a whole packet of information on Sourcewell. I believe we're a member. If we weren't, it's easy to sign up, but I still have to have a discussion with the law director as to how that would work with the bidding process. Now, what
I think that's similar to the state bid. I've worked with this before.
Okay. Well, and what Jeff from Game Changer told me was that they actually come in lower than Sourcewell pricing most of the time. So he said, just to give you an idea of that as well. So we still want to work on finding multiple estimates. It's just been a matter of how busy and backed up these companies are. But this gives a rough idea for at least two. And we did talk briefly about location and then what's going to factor in to price with location and price is the topography, how much of a grade, how much gravel are you going to need. So I suggested a couple places that were less saturated because we know there's a lot of water at Bonnievale, and then a place that was a little bit less steep in the park here. But again, that can be a board decision, and definitely want to use the experts. So I'm going to want Chuck size, whoever the company is, they're going to be the experts as well. So that's where we're at with the pickleball courts.
Make sure it's not Hamilton, to make sure that they know
Where is, I don't know how you see that. Okay.
Hamilton.
That's impressive.
Both places it says Hamilton.
I will handle that. I will.
For Fairfield Township.
That's a good catch.
So
Any questions?
is that a pickleball slash tennis court slash
Basketball court?
basketball? That's what they're proposing, or that's
No,
just a
no.
picture they have?
That's just a picture that they had there. They did give me a rendering. I have a brochure here. If you want to look after the meeting, I can show you the picture. It looks like your sandal pickleball court, and then the basketball courts are like a 12-foot fence, and we only need a 6-foot fence, 6 to 8 foot fence for pickleball. So, and wind was another factor, which I didn't know. I've never played, but they can put up wind protectors, and they said if we don't want to spend, the board doesn't want to spend that cost now, that's something they can easily add later. But apparently a pickleball is similar to like the weight of one of those softball, pickleball, thank you, yeah. And so wind plays a huge factor, so a lot of people put those wind shields up. Yeah, that was new to me.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing the different costs and where they are proposing to put them, and
Yeah, I received this afternoon, so that's why it hasn't made its way to you yet, but it will.
Okay, excellent. Anything further on pickleball?
You can get by with the 4-foot fence too. You don't have to have a 6-foot fence. The last couple of courts I played on, and they're not the Cadillac version. They're just the middle of the road, so we can get that cost down some, and maybe consider putting them at least 2 inch apart, something like that.
Okay. Next item, letter of support for the TID.
So I spoke to Dan Corey today. A lot has changed with all the different players. Right now, he is still working with Greg Wilkins in the engineer's office, as well as the city, and now they have a new city manager, and then with the township.
one of the fire,
Thank you.
probably chief, hit the button in his pocket.
Exactly.
Rookie.
So,
Okay, so what do you need from us?
I need nothing. They have pushed the OKI grant out to 2025, and they are close to having plans for, there's 3 different construction pieces to this. It's a Hampshire piece, the donut peanut shaped roundabout, and then improvements to Princeton. It all comes to about $10 million. So they're still looking to, there's some people that say we need to split costs a third. There's talk that the roundabout could end up all in the city. I mean, there's lots of different things at play, so he is still formalizing all of that. But no letter of support this year because they pushed it out.
And that's more information than I've been told. Third, there's, we're still waiting on that development plan. We were supposed to have that a couple of weeks ago. You know, what's going to go back there to support all this around the campus, the Butler County campus, right?
Right.
On the east end.
Well, I asked more about the Princeton Road improvements, and he said that it would involve not only a 3-lane road, but also like a multimodal path.
That's a big deal right now.
And curb and gutter and storm sewer. And he talked about carrying it all the way to where there's 2 neighborhoods, one on either side. So that's about how far out he was talking, but that was still yet to be determined too.
Yeah, the multimodal transportation concept is a very big deal with OKI. That's something that a lot of the grants require, and they put a lot of emphasis on that. So you'll have the road and maybe a bike path and other things too. So it's kind of a concept that that's really involved with the grants and whatnot. So it doesn't surprise me that that would be part of it.
That would be a requirement as far as I'm concerned. You know, we've been looking for a way to get pedestrians off the road through there for 8 years and 2 months. I've been talking about it. But I think that's a requirement. Sidewalk or walking path, bike path. You still see people walking in the ditch. Were there any comments about transferring the responsibility for that west side of Princeton Road back to the county?
There was.
Yeah, I don't think the county's interested in taking Princeton back.
We didn't want it to begin with, so they can have it.
I don't think they're going to.
Well, then, I don't know how we're gonna pay $10 million or whatever the number is to try to improve the Hamilton thoroughfare. I certainly couldn't vote to support the project without a whole lot more information and a whole lot more commitment from the county engineer and the city of Hamilton and the long-term effects on Fairfield Township. That's very disappointing.
Okay, anything further on that topic?
No?
All right, next item, finalize June trustee meeting date. So what,
I think we talked about moving it to the 18th, but if I remember correctly, Mr. McAbee requested that we wait as long as possible to advertise that date because you might have a conflict. Is that correct?
Well, it's looking better all the time.
Okay.
But again,
So we can wait until the last minute, but
right now we're scheduled for the 11th, right? That's our normal meeting night.
that's a normal meeting, and I think we've discussed.
So next month, we could say, okay, we'll reschedule it from the 11th to the 18th, or something like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not available the 11th,
Right,
which, so right now, it's still set for the 11th, but
yeah.
we can wait until next month, our May meeting to set that date.
And that's the 14th, right? The May meeting is still the 14th.
That's correct.
okay, so I probably tentatively, I think we should count on the 18th. If we want to have all 3 trustees here. I mean,
Yeah, let's not set it yet, but let's
okay,
have that as our tentative, ready to
okay.
go date, and then Mr. McAbee, if you can just let us know at our May meeting what works best for you. Even if we have to move it later in that week, we can make it a Wednesday or a Thursday.
I'm not available on that. I would be available the 18th or the 19th.
Okay.
And the 19th is a holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a holiday.
Or the 17th.
Or Monday the
Yeah,
17th.
the 17th.
I mean, the 18th is looking okay right now. Like I said, it's looking better than it did,
Okay.
last month, so. I'll write it down tentatively for the 18th.
Okay. Sounds great.
Good. Yeah, would you put that up first, please? Okay. So, we've done a lot of fantastic things here in Fairfield Township, and I'm just so pleased and proud with our progress. And I think we can really take things to the next level here in Fairfield Township too. So I had a meeting the other day with the administrator. We talked a little bit about some of our processes and some of our key processes that we're going to be looking, or that I think we should look at, that would be good targets for continuous process improvement. But I wanted to kind of give everyone kind of some education on this, because I think that this is really good stuff. When I worked in the private sector, I did a significant amount of this kind of work. I went to Japan to study it. I studied with some of the lean masters. And I think the more that we can do things here in Fairfield Township to take us to the next level with doing Kaizen, I think it can be some good stuff. So next slide, please. I will keep this brief, I promise. We can do, we know that we've come a long way. We're just getting started. But I really think we can take things even higher here in Fairfield Township. And with our new team that we have, I think that we can really keep moving forward and keep doing some good things here in Fairfield Township. All right, next slide, please. What is Kaizen? Kaizen is a Japanese word that means continuous improvement. Kai means to change. Zen means better. And when we're doing Kaizen, we're looking at making small incremental improvements on a day-to-day basis to make things better. That's going to be a little Kaizen. Then there's also big Kaizen, where we go and we make a big change and do some good things. In a minute, I'm going to talk a little bit about our meeting preparation process and how it ties into this. But our goal is, and I think that a lot of our departments do this, I think we have this mindset, and I really want to continue with this mindset because we can take ourselves to the next level. The goal here is to reduce our waste. There's 7 kinds of waste, generally speaking. And when we take those waste out of the system, we can increase our efficiency and we can do things better with the resources that we have. The cycle that you follow is it's a methodology, the plan, do, check, act methodology. We're going to take a look at what we have. We're going to come up with a new idea of what it could be, implement that new idea, and then possibly take that to the next level. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so again, you've got that overall methodology, the PDCA circle. We're going to, I kind of touched on this, we're going to look at those ideas. How can we improve it? How are we going to make the changes, implement them, and then check it and see if it makes sense? And this continuous cycle leads to that culture of innovation and progress. And as I mentioned, I met with Mrs. von der Haar and Diane about a week or so ago. And we talked about our meeting preparation process because it's good, but you know what? It can always be better. And that's my goal and I think that my department heads, you would probably agree, we've done amazing things, but we're just getting started, right? So really thinking this way, I know you already think this way, let's do it more. Okay, next slide, please. So here's some other things we can do. Powerful process, again, we're looking to reduce waste. I won't get into the 7 types of waste right now, but I will another time, because if you know these 7 wastes, you can look at it in your processes and say, okay, that waste are non-value added activities, and then we can make those better. We're looking at streamlining our processes with process mapping and looking at putting in checklists and different things that we can ask ourselves if we're doing those right. So one process improvement that I know we have right now is that staff has put in a checklist for our meeting process preparation agenda. And so they look for things. And I don't know if you probably don't, I didn't ask you to do this before the meeting, so I'm springing this on you, but we actually have a list that staff goes through to say, yes, we've done this, and we're using those things to check our agenda. that checklist can be modified at any point in time, and we can make it stronger and better so that we streamline that and so that we get the things that we need here to the board. Other things too, this is really, I love speak with data and manage by fact. So when we're asking staff to get, the quotes or the different things, it's one thing to say, well, I think our financial position is nice. Okay, well, that's an opinion. If we talk fact, our general fund is, I believe, over 8 million right now, which gives us a strong financial position. So it's talking more with fact and those kinds of things. And if we focus on the fact, we're more focused on a non-confrontational environment, and then we can work on educating our employees, because I truly believe that our staff is here for the right reasons. Our staff cares about doing things properly. And if we leverage their skills and abilities, we don't have the problem here where people don't want to do their jobs or that kind of thing. We have people that are motivated to do their jobs. The processes sometimes get a little bit icky and we need to streamline those. But I think if we work to do that, we can do things better here. And again, there's some other good things: useful the processes, up-to-date measures, control the outcomes. All right, next one, please. Again, if we have these communication things, so I met with staff, we mapped out the current process of our meeting preparation, and we're also going to do a updated one. And there's going to be a couple important things that I will be asking everyone here to work on. Skip that one, this one. So there's a thing called Pokioke, that's mistake proofing, and that's building in systems and processes into our things so that when we know that we can't make a mistake. We know that, like, for example, the checklist, if something's there, we immediately see that it's there and it's apparent to everyone and we can fix it. The key with that, though, is we know that we're going to make mistakes, and it works better if we do this in a non-blaming, non-judgmental way so that we can work to make ourselves better and stronger and say, yeah, we're not perfect, but we can make things better. And again, if we're calling out, hey, there's an issue, it shouldn't be a personal attack. It should be, let's look at our process and see if there's a better way to do it. There's a couple other different tools up there. And I really like the one up there about we're focusing on the processes and we're looking at improving those processes. All right, and next slide. That is it for now. I wanted to talk a little bit about, and I will be getting copies of this to everyone to look at for our meeting preparation process, but I'm going to hit you with some of the highlights for this. Our old process is department heads were given until Tuesday, end of business, Wednesday-ish, in order to get things to Julie, to the administrator, for approval. Then on Tuesday, Diane works at pulling the information together at that. On Wednesdays, we have Noelle, Shelley, and Julie go through it. They get the funds, they check things off, and their goal for that is to get that done by end of business Wednesday. On Thursdays, it goes to the law director, and he has Thursday to go through that until end of business to get that streamlined. And then Friday, it goes to the trustees. One of the things that I think that we as a board need to do, and again, staff is all in on supporting the Board of Trustees here, but I think one of the things that we as board members, we need to act as one team, because right now I've got staff, they're checking for things, but that should be our responsibility too, because I know all three of us check the agenda, and it's very important that we do that. I would just ask that we maybe do a couple things differently. I'd like to move up our due date for checking the agenda so that we can have the corrections to staff by Monday. Okay, by Monday at noon. I don't know if that would work, but that way, by the time it gets posted to the public on Monday, then everyone here at the table, because you've submitted it to Mrs. Vonderhaar, we've had staff check it, we've had the law director check it, we've had the administrator recheck it, we've had the Board of Trustees check it too. Because I think that in doing that and being proactive, that makes us look like part of one team. Okay, that has us be part of the checkers that are making sure that that, whatever's on here is proper and correct. And again, I don't think that staff ever has the intention to miss something or not do something properly, but I think that we as board members can help them and double check that agenda. And we're going to get it on Friday, so we'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then part of Monday for us to look through that and us to participate in the one team process to get that together. So I would ask that. The other thing that I would ask is that we also, if you feel that you need this, I would suggest that you take that time to meet with the administrator. You might not need to do that every week, but or once a month, or before the meeting, whatever your comfort level is. But to take that time to meet with the administrator, because she's a wealth of knowledge on all of these things, and a lot of times she can get those questions answered in advance of the meeting, so that we're prepared and we can act as one team because we've done our homework and we are ready to rock and roll when we get here. The other thing too I would ask with our new process is staff doesn't always know what it is that we as board members want. They might not know. And I think that it really would be helpful if, because I think you and staff, you're willing to give us whatever information that we want. I've never heard you say, no, we can't do that, unless it's, everyone is pretty much customer oriented here. But they might not know that we want to take a look at something, or that we need something, or that we want to spend some more time with something. So that would be my third ask, is that we meet with the administrator and say, hey, on a regular basis, I would like to get this information. I'd like to meet with you and talk with you about that. And that way, everyone's prepared. And we're just trying, I think that would really help our entire meeting, our meetings run better. I think that would help us have a better comfort level with what's happening. So that's kind of what I'd like to put into this new process flow. And then we'll go from there. But any thoughts on that? Those three asks, if we can double check the agenda by Monday. If you would meet with the administrator as your comfort level allows at some point, either before the meeting or at some point during the month, if you feel that's necessary. And then if there's something that you personally would like to have more information about, get with the administrator before the meeting. Does that sound like some things that we can live with?
Comments?
The only thing I thought of while you were making that presentation is when we moved from Wednesday to Tuesday, we talked about moving everything back a day, instead of being Wednesday, which means maybe we get it on Thursday. It's very important to me that I have it, by the end of Friday, so that I do have time to work my way through it, especially meeting monthly, because it's a big agenda.
Okay, so Friday. What would work for you, like Friday at noon?
No, I'm saying, we were on Friday, and when we went to a Tuesday meeting, we talked about pushing everything back, so maybe we get it on Thursday. And I don't know if that's possible or not, but again, that just gives us more time to be able to and do what we need to do to be ready.
So would it work with staff if we backed that up a day, so that right now the department heads, if they're doing things end of business Tuesday, end of business Monday, if we back this all up?
Yeah, I do remember that discussion, and I thought that's what we were doing, but.
Well, the goal would be to would it be acceptable if we got the pre-meeting materials to the trustees by end of business Thursday?
Okay.
That would be better for me, and I still like a hard copy.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I had the department heads all meet with me, and I have instituted a monthly meeting a week before, and have more of a hard deadline that I need, and Diane needs everything by Wednesday. When things are coming at us last minute, that's very difficult to keep it organized and have all the facts and information. So unless it would be something like a part-time hire where we might lose them and the board is typically agreeable, things that can wait. If they're not there, we have a more hardened deadline of Wednesday so that I can get everything to you without changes and then causing confusion because we're hurrying and then we're sending another agenda. So we've already implemented as a team some things to put more controls in.
Okay. All right.
Well, my comments would be that the asks that were just stated of the trustees are not new asks. We reviewed the agenda. Any questions we have, we ask immediately. We get answers back. We do double and triple check everybody else's work. So I'm all in favor of everything you said because it's things that should be and are, as far as I know, are being done. We are checking, we are getting the information in a timely manner. We are asking questions, and if there's corrections, they're being done. I mean, if there's corrections, they're being taken care of. So it's not a new ask as far as what you're asking of the trustees. So, yeah, I think we should keep doing that.
Excellent. Okay, we'll keep moving forward with that, and we'll work to get this this process flow chart documented out so that we have that. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, next item, Kimco and events for 2024.
So Kimco, I did send, and hopefully you all had a chance to read the conversation that I had with Kimco.
And just for the people listening and watching, Kimco
took over for RPT, they took over Bridgewater
the
Falls.
new property manager
They are.
for Bridgewater.
Correct.
Falls, right? Okay.
Correct, and they have a different model. So I have spoken to a property coordinator. I have tried to speak to the property manager, and then I attempted and finally got a hold of and had a conversation with the whole head of national marketing. They took over 50 properties, and it's countrywide. And as they also operate they have a whole different marketing strategy and group than RPT. So with that said, as they assess this year, all of their marketing budgets for every property have been greatly reduced. So some of the events and the things that we have become accustomed to and that have built may look different this year. So there are some things we can do as a township, and we will absolutely work to make as many great activities and things happen as we can. Some of that will be limited by funds and the will of the board. So I do know that Treat Street was where the marketing group wanted to concentrate on Treat Street and then not be as extensive with the Touch a Truck and the Christmas tree lighting and some of those things. I stressed how important some of those things, especially Touch a Truck, every year has gotten larger and more involved. And so I don't know what that looks like. I have people like Walmart in our group. There are a lot of other people looking to partner. So I believe we can make that happen, and we have connections for different trucks and whatnot. So I wanted to make the board aware that Kimco had taken over. I had heard rumors that they were selling. They are not at this time selling Bridgewater Falls. And the next step is they're going to put me in touch with the leasing director because I have some questions around that as well. But, just things so that the board knows this is what they're thinking. This is what could be coming in. This is what they want to change. I let them know the walkability is poor, that center area is difficult for business, et cetera, that kind of thing.
And I would say let's look at Home Depot, Walmart. Perhaps we can partner with them on Touch a Truck or something along those lines too, if Bridgewater's not. We have other community partners. Walmart did some wonderful things for the eclipse. I'll talk about that later, but.
So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, and it doesn't mean that the events will not happen. They may just look a little different.
And I know that you've reached out to other entities to try to partner. I know that you've reached out to Butler Tech and other local businesses to see if there are other options out there,
Absolutely.
either additional or replacement. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's great work.
Yeah, Butler Tech would be a great venue for Touch a Truck or some different things. They've got good space over there.
Yep.
Probably land a helicopter somewhere.
But clearly, it's going to be up to the property manager to decide what they want in there, what they don't.
Absolutely.
So, and we've been through this before when management changed hands, and it was we're not doing anything this year, and then they eventually come around to do more and more things. So again, I would encourage you to look elsewhere, but we may not be able to do the things we've been doing. And, that's just the facts of life as far as that goes. And maybe we need to combine some things, and we still have a really nice facility here. Not as good as what we're used to at Bridgewater, where you got the parking and them doing a lot of the layout, that type of thing.
That's all I had. Thank you.
All right, other items?
And just so that I'm clear on this, the car show and I guess there's going to be a concert again.
That's what we were planning on, as long as the board is in agreement with that.
You got a date for that car show?
September 7th.
So, and again, I don't know if there's some room there to expand and add or take away to make it a bigger community event.
It's going to be huge this year.
I've
Probably double.
voiced my concerns about the alcohol. I really don't want to see the alcohol in the park. That type of thing. I certainly don't want to see another gun raffle, but I'm in favor of involving the community and having a community event, whether it replaces the Fairfield Indian Days type thing that we've had forever in the community. But, and again, I don't know if that's something that we could do something else with.
We can always add, absolutely.
And I think from a township standpoint, I think that if there's any money made for that, I think it needs to go back into the parks. Use that to offset the pickleball courts or the splash pad or things like that. I don't think we ought to be using that as a fundraiser for one department or another unless they're doing the work, all the begging, all the work. I'd rather see the township run it and everybody on the team be involved, but at the same time, it would be a community event. Just want to make sure that I'm on the same page with everybody else as far as what's happening. I felt a little surprised last time, and I don't want to be surprised again this time. So if more as the process, I want more facts and not generalities. Anyway.
Yeah, I was under the impression, if you don't mind me piggybacking on that, Trustee McAbey, that the money that was raised was done by volunteer work hours. Many of our firefighter personnel volunteer their time to work the booths and to sell the tickets. And since they weren't being paid employees, that way the funds that were raised were used in that manner.
They ran the whole car show. They ran really the whole event.
Right. So, but it was volunteer hours. We weren't paying them to do it, and then they pocketed the money.
Correct.
So if it would be a fundraiser for our parks, I feel like we would have to pay the employees to work the event. I don't know, we could ask them to volunteer their time, and then the township pocket the proceeds. Maybe we can. I don't know, but I think that's something we'd have to look into.
That's a good point.
Well, again, if it's The raffle is what's making the money, or the car show is what's making the money. And not, the township's not putting the bill. It did cost us some money. We paid a lot of police officers a lot of hours that 24-hour period. I don't know how much it was. I remember seeing some numbers about what we'd spent. So again, it's either service or it's to make money. One or the other.
I think what it was is that this was a service of having the concert, and then and please someone can correct me if I'm assuming this incorrectly, but then the fire department union decided let's also piggyback into a car show, and we will organize it, we will run it, we will volunteer our time to do that, and then we're also going to have a beer booth, which they did, and they volunteered their time and they ran it, and
paid for it.
And they paid for it, and so that's where the funds came from. But the service part was having a concert for our adult residents, and so that service with all the adults coming in for that, I think, is what required the police to be there, the fire. Parking was over at Butler Tech. Police were making sure people got across Milton Road safely, and of course they were there for security as well. Because we didn't know how big of an event this was going to be, we weren't sure how many officers we needed there. But I think now that we sort of understand what the draw may be, maybe we can refine how many personnel we have there and what the costs are associated with. And then those cost estimates could be brought before the board for us to say, okay, well, we understand what the cost is going to be for this event.
Not a problem at all. And you saw at the Easter event how many personnel we had on staff too. So most of our events, we all meet, and really that I give the direction to the police and fire to plan the layout, plan the safety keys. Public Works will bring in whatever they need to blockade, but I really hand all that off to the experts so that everyone's safe.
Right. No, it's great.
And would you say that this is a good opportunity for community relations? I mean, we're not just doing it to support whatever, but isn't it a good opportunity to interact with the citizens? And I mean, I would think that would be the good ad for our staff. Care to elaborate?
I know from a fire department standpoint, we have the opportunity with our robots and different public relations tools with the crowds that we saw for that event to really reach out to more numbers than we could have otherwise without an event of that size and proportion.
We also all add to that, we also had my patrol out there, and they just got all compliments, and they would stop and talk to everybody, in addition to the officers showing their equipment, the cars and so forth.
Great. Beat a beer out of it and a gun raffle and had a good time.
Well, they did T-shirts last year too. I did buy a T-shirt. I didn't get any raffle tickets, but I did get a T-shirt.
If it's okay, we have some information. I'm happy to share that, and then I'm really just gonna need the will of the board as to all those different things.
Sure.
Okay.
You want to run through them now?
Do I wanna what?
You said you had some information.
But no, I don't have it all right here sitting in front of me right now, but I can.
I think we just sent out an email.
Yeah,
So I think that's
absolutely.
okay.
Our next meeting.
Absolutely. Does the group plan on, I know you're not in the union anymore. I mean, is the fire department union, are they gonna, do a gun raffle and beer again?
I can't answer that.
I can't either.
I have no idea either yet. I have no idea about that yet. But anything I have is gonna come to you, and then you're gonna advise.
Well, and I think that really points to what I was just saying about our meeting preparation process. Please meet with Mrs. Vonderhaar if there's more details that you'd like to get, or she's happy to provide us with information, but she can't provide it to us if she doesn't know that we want it.
Well, that was the reason why I brought it up under Kimco and events for 2024. The bill, I asked to see a copy of an invoice today, was $2,600. I guess it's the deposit of the first half of renting
carriages,
carriages for a Christmas
correct.
that we don't know where we're gonna do it, or
We do.
if we're gonna do it, or,
Well, we do it, again, it's under my purchasing authority, and knowing that the way Kimco,
I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know that I want to pay for carriage run at Bridgewater
you already paid.
it's not at Bridgewater,
or at,
our group, and we're still working on sponsorship money as well.
yeah, I like sponsorship
Yes,
money.
yes. So that, yeah, there's a lot more to that. There's still, I just met with them for lunch, so there's a lot more coming where that's all concerned.
Okay. I like sponsorship money for
I mean, our group has a very small location over there. I mean, again, I don't know what you were thinking, but I saw the invoice, so I was like, what is this? And then I saw that that's the first half of the payment for the carriage rentals. So that's, again, is why I asked the question.
Okay, so am I hearing correctly, before any events are decided upon, bring those to the board first? The more or less, so you don't feel caught off guard, or to give your blessing?
Is that our comfort level?
I think at least just a heads up of, I'm working on this project. It can just be an email. Like, hey, I'm working on this project.
Okay, I thought I said I was working,
You did, you
Okay,
did.
okay.
One of the emails
Okay.
you got last week, you did say that.
but I could have been more specific.
I was reading all those emails, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, well, we don't have Bridgewater, so where are we gonna go?
Mhm.
You know, we really don't have a place other than the park to handle a large crowd for any of those events. So, and again, thinking, okay, I'm gonna bring it up tonight, and that's what I did. So, I'm certainly not against it. We had a huge, in 1997 or so, we had a huge Christmas tree lighting right here, and it was awesome. Awesome. And of course, there was nowhere you could park. They were parked everywhere. It was before we had to pay parking on the other side of the fire station. It was before we had another fire station. So, it can be done. But I would like to see, while we're talking about this, I'd like to see you set a budget for whatever event you think the township's gonna run, and we would know that in advance.
That makes sense, absolutely.
$5,200 for carriages, and thinking, okay.
Right,
what
couldn't
else?
do it.
What else is there, you know?
Yeah, that would be it, from my standpoint.
Well, I know, and I'm not as concerned about you going over your threshold as I am about the event and what the cost is gonna be. Same thing with the car show.
Okay.
You know, if we're begging Walmart and our group and taking their money, I would want to make sure that we've got line items on all that too. Who's donating what? Again, not buying the beer, not doing the gun raffle, but whatever the
problem.
events are.
Okay, makes sense, thank you.
Okay, anything further?
Yes, I met with Administrator Vonderhaar to go over the agenda. And one of the things that we were discussed, and this is under other items for board discussion, was that, we are we're hiring a lot of police and fire personnel. And I would like Mrs. Vonderhaar to meet with the chiefs and discuss if there's a need to give them the authority to have an officer or a firefighter start work before we officially vote on their hire. I mean, what is the ORC? Can we give them the authority to hire and be in place, and then that be approved at the board meeting? I mean, these are positions that the board has already authorized. We've authorized you to hire these personnel. I don't have the, the knowledge and experience that you have to determine who the best firefighter is, who the best police officer is. I'm trusting you, and I'm going to approve your hires. And so if tomorrow you decide, wow, we've got this great candidate to fill an open position, we have to wait 30 days for them to start? It seems to me,
I guess,
please.
what's our legal position
I would
on
be
that?
nervous if they're not sworn in before they start working as a police officer for the township.
Does it have to be the township board to swear them in? Is that?
I don't think that has to be done at a meeting. I think that can be done other than at a meeting. Go ahead, Chief, you were going to say something?
No, what I was going to say is that's really what you're bringing up is consistent with how it's done in other municipalities. Because of the fact that we have 30 days to wait, we have to extend, we have to tell someone that we may not be able to hire you until May, depending on where our process is. So it would help out a little bit if we were able to perhaps have them sworn in by the board chair. And then they're working. Obviously, they would have to be certified, full-time police officer sworn. It would follow everything that you have, I think, in your notes as it relates to the process that we have, except that we could bring them on earlier as opposed to later.
Is that, can you give us another township that does it that way for police officers?
Primarily, Miami Township is one that does it that way. Hamilton does it also.
Hamilton Township?
Township, yes.
Is there any legal, what are the legal implications of that, please?
No, I think if they're sworn in, and I think any notary can actually swear them in. I think I could do it, the fiscal officer could do it, the
Any elected officer.
A judge, like any elected official could do that, right? As long as it's in their jurisdiction.
Well, I mean, and I don't disagree at all. I mean, if we've got an authorized open position and you got the candidate that you're going to recommend, we haven't turned any of them down, have we?
No.
So I would be in favor of doing that too.
I would prefer that either the board chair or another trustee do, like if the board chair is not available, that vice or a trustee would be the ones to swear in. Maybe the fiscal officer, but I would prefer that be the process.
Yeah, I just think, are we losing people? And also,
Anybody for that?
but also like that position is,
Have we?
but that position is also open for 3 weeks. Like, wow, we could have that person on the street or in the fire station saving lives. And I'm sorry, we have to wait for the next trustee meeting.
And I've said this before, I can meet tomorrow for that.
Yeah, but I think, and then at the trustee meeting, it could be ceremonial. Here's your,
Which is what it's been in the past.
right.
That's a
So,
process improvement too. I think that's a really good Kaizen. If we can shrink that lead time to get somebody, if we've identified them and they're ready to start, why wait?
So-
Yeah, I like that.
so I'm hearing is that now we're gonna do we have to either like a formal motion or just say,
Legally,
No, I don't think you need a formal motion.
okay,
That way.
so
I
I
guess
guess,
we have any other authorized positions open, so.
well, if there are open positions and they're filling open positions, if someone resigns,
Open positions.
if someone resigns tomorrow, and then 3 days later you find a replacement, I think contact
Remarkable.
the administrator will send an email out to the board saying, hey, Chair, are you available to come swear this
right.
new officer in tomorrow? Then let's do it, and then we'll put it on the agenda for the formal, or we can have cake, because, everybody needs cake. So,
Get some cake.
yeah.
Never get cake.
Yeah, maybe we'll get cake.
I'm just saying, we never get cake.
Isn't it your policy though that you do a motion to authorize the position first?
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's an authorized position.
When you do the motion to authorize the position, you could add to that motion that the person can start after being sworn in. It doesn't have to wait for a meeting. You could do that all at once. That way it's all clear on the record and everybody knows what's gonna happen.
I do have a question if I can ask, Mr. Burton. So, resolution, and I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but 2449, if it's approved, that's the authorizing academy payment for reimbursement for police department recruits. Are you also saying, or probably still needs to be discussed, that they would also be authorized?
To be reimbursed?
Well, once we determine that they have passed everything, it's really the same process. There's no other process that they're going through. At this moment in time, we're requesting the authorization of payment reimbursement for police department and also health insurance. So are you saying that would be applicable to that group also? Realizing that, for example, we have 4 that we want to hire, they're going to become full-time. So they would take 4 full-time positions. So it's just a conduit to get them into full-time.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if they're authorized positions, and their candidate's going to be filling those authorized positions, I would be in favor of that. Let's get the process started. We're only meeting once a month. And if we have to delay it, and let's say later that month, two of us come down with the flu and we can't meet that month, like, we have to put it off another week, then we're 5 weeks, out from, I think if it's an authorized position, as long as one of us can swear in and also at the candidates, I think we should move forward with it.
I don't think we've actually voted on that part of the process yet, have we?
That is correct, yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah, which we'll do later tonight. But I think once it becomes the adopted authorized process, I don't see any difference either.
Right.
That would actually be very helpful.
I think, well, that's going to shorten our lead time
Yes, it will.
to get people in the door. Okay, I love that.
Great.
Now if I could just get a piece of cake. Okay, just kidding.
Okay, just to be clear, Ms. Von Haar, you understand the direction of the board?
I am.
Okay,
Thank
so as soon as they have a candidate, email us and say, hey, they'd like this person to be hired next Tuesday. Is someone available to swear them in?
Only if there's an authorized.
Well, obviously, right.
Authorized, which I think we're full
Yeah.
after the day.
Yeah,
There's
don't we
two more at the
still-
bottom of the page, but what resolution do we authorize those for? That's what I mean, it's way back in my memory, so I'm wondering if the numbers are right.
We authorize up to 27, right?
28.
27 or 28.
I thought it was 35, just kidding.
Like I said, we want the data on that.
It is 28. We will be down 4 after today, counting the recruits. And then we will be down most likely 2 in May. We have 2 laterals that are waiting for the last and final phase. So as of May, we should have probably just only 2 openings. And that is 28. I was only kidding.
28.
Yes.
So how many do we have today? Don't look.
Today, no, I have to look at it. I got all the stuff that I got to talk about today. Today, we actually have, right now, prior to the vote, we have 20.
We only have 20.
Yes.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's the only item I had for
I think
discussion.
that's great. I think that's an excellent process improvement. Okay,
And I've never been to Japan. And I've never been to Japan.
there you go. See, anyone, it's good. That's a good
My
thing.
father-in-law has been to Japan, but
That's the cool thing about Kaizen is that we can all do it. We can all be part of one team, making the township stronger and better, right? Yeah. Okay. Communication. This is the portion of the meeting where you, the residents of Fairfield Township, are invited to share your thoughts with the board. Please know that this time has been set aside for the board to listen to you. Your comments are valued and will be taken into careful consideration. The board will not engage in dialogue at this time. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes each. We have one person that signed in. Please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Joe Lombardo. I live at 6681 Spring Meadow Drive, here in Fairfield Township. I'm making sure that every envelope I send out says Fairfield Township. and not
Thank you.
It's difficult with going into business though, because every single system that you put it into says.
I can talk to you more about that, but not now.
Okay.
Okay. Please continue.
I just came tonight. I corresponded with Ms. Von Haar for a couple days now. I talked with Mr. Graves the other day too, who set up a meeting. I'm looking to start a brewery in the townships because Mason has theirs, Westchester has theirs, Hamilton has theirs. We don't have one at this time too. Goes over like a lead balloon with not selling beer, but I'll have a place to do it and a time to do it. Not
Well, that's part of my argument is we have places that do that. So
Yeah.
go support them, you know?
And I want to be that next place here. I am looking into Wade Elliott reached out to a consultant on the land over there by where I work as a continuous improvement manager over at SICA. So I'm leading 16.
We're gonna talk.
Stuff too, so yeah, getting that. I know Dave and Marty too, so like, yeah.
Oh, okay, we'll talk
We'll
later.
talk later.
We'll talk later.
So I just wanted to come and introduce myself. I'm going to get acutely aware of pretty much all of you probably here over the next 6-8 months before we start. We are trying to get to a Q1 2025 opening and do about 1,200 barrels a year at full capacity. To give you an idea, if you've ever been to Florida, they do about 800 a year. So that's our end goal, starting at about 60% of that the first year. I've been in contact with a couple of local senior brewers and some of the big dogs down in the city, but I just wanted to come introduce myself. Again, name's Joe Lombardi, working for Sylvia Brew Works. I got some stickers all up here on the podium if you want them. I'll be back.
Great. Sorry we made you wait so long. Thank you.
Excellent.
This is my mom, by the way.
Oh, hello. Hi, Mom.
My chief administrative officer. She's just here for all support.
Thank you. All right, committee reports, TID.
We have no meeting this month.
All right, and EMA, nothing to report. OKIs is coming Thursday, and Clout is not until the end of the month. So nothing to report there.
Okay.
Anything further? Committee reports?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. We will take a 5-minute break.
Reset.
Recording will stay on.
Recording will stay on.
No, in fact, it's common that I will swear in, not common, but I have on more than one occasion sworn in a trustee or a fiscal officer in advance of the meeting at which they formally get sworn in. Because if the meeting is going to be January 12th, they want to get sworn in on January 1st or December 31st or whatever.
At Westchester, the fiscal officer swears in everyone. If they like their fiscal officer.
my gosh.
Thank you.
Nice.
Now we're happy.
Listen.
And force. That's my dinner right there.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Good one. Good one, Chief.
Are they watching the video over there? No, okay. I was like, they are listening.
He sent him a text.
All right. We are back. We will move to fiscal officers' recommendations and reports, please.
The only thing I have is to let you guys know I went 2 weeks ago to the Auditor of State Local Government Officials Conference and learned a lot of stuff. It was geared just towards fiscal officers. It's the first time I've attended since I've been a fiscal officer, just because it's never worked out with my schedule, but I learned a lot. We are under a single audit this year due to spending more than $750,000 in federal funds. So our audit will be more intense, and the deadline is September 30th. So the good news is they'll have to get it done earlier than last year. So I'm excited about that. Learned lots of things, met lots of other fiscal officers, and that's really all I have.
Could you get a, maybe a 5-year snapshot of our settlements, what we've got over the last 5 years? And I understand this year we got a little more money, or?
Yeah, we got a lot more, about $1 million more, right?
That would be good data to have.
Yeah. Do you want it broken down by department and TIFs, or just in total?
Gosh.
It's easy either way. I have all the settlement sheets saved, at least since I've been here, so.
Maybe the line items, you know,
Okay.
like the police levy, the fire levy.
Okay, I can do that. 5 years?
Yeah, something like that, looking for the trend to see. And if you want to do the first half and then the second half, or just the first and the total.
Okay.
Okay. I know 1 year recently, we took the advance.
We did, like 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. I didn't think it was last year, because I was thinking that was a big number compared to last year.
Yeah.
So again, I was just trying to.
The advance, I mean, it's a good thing to have it early, but it's just more accounting work if we don't need it. But if we needed it, I wouldn't have no problem doing
We
it.
don't need it really. I mean, we're squeaking by, right?
Yes.
Waiting for it. We did get the settlement though, right?
We did.
Sometime earlier.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
Okay, anything further? All right, we'll move on to motions then.
Motion to suspend the reading, March 19th meeting.
Second. Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes,
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
that passes.
Motion approved.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that passes.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second. Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes,
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
that passes. All right, department spotlight.
Good evening. Good evening. Hey, it's good to see you. So the zoning spotlight, looking back at 2023 was a very productive year for the Fairfield Township Zoning Department. The zoning department processed 459 zoning certificates, which is more than any of the past 10 years. Significant residential and commercial improvements took place throughout the township. New home construction is underway in several new residential subdivisions. In 2023, the zoning department issued 167 zoning certificates for new single-family residential units. For residential units, including 104 single-family homes and 63 for multifamily units. These numbers were considerably higher than the zoning certificates issued in 2022, which consisted of just 56 single-family homes and 34 multifamily units. In addition to those,
58 zoning certificates were issued for commercial improvements, including new construction, tenant finishes, remodels, and new sign and updated signage. Diving deeper into the residential developments, I just wanted to highlight a couple of the subdivisions that are active in the township. Timber Hill subdivision, located on Timber Hill Drive, mostly. They've included in the section as Timber Hill has become the primary access to Butler County Metro Parks Timber Hill area of Rancho Forest, which is located north of that development. This development is located off of Route 4 near Green Lawn Road. Site development and infrastructure improvements for Section 1, Block A, which is composed of 17.38 acres, were completed by Maya Homes in 2023, and houses are springing up pretty rapidly in that development. Timber Hills, which is located off of Liberty Fairfield Road, new single-family homes construction began in 2022 and continued into 2023. Site development for Section 2 was finished in 2023. When complete, the subdivision will have 137 single-family residential lots on that 64 acres. Walden Springs, which is located between Bob Evans and Speedway. Site development for the first phase was completed in 2023. And in 2023, they had 11 duplexes completed. When the entire subdivision is complete, there will be 62 duplexes comprised of 124 units. Also, one of the developments that have been around for a while is finally going to be complete this year, Windsor Point, which is located at the end of, I guess that's the west end of Princeton Road. They will be complete this year. Looking at some of the retail developments, specifically Bridgewater Landing, which is land that was developed by Bridgewater Church. In 2023, Casey's General Store opened in April, and it's providing a convenient location. Their business is going very well there. Also in that development in September, Starbucks opened up. Construction is also underway for Raising Cane's and Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Raising Cane's is scheduled for a June open, and Tidal Wave is comfortable saying they'll be opening this summer. Looking at Menards Crossing, there's been some development there, some substantial development this past year. The Christian Brothers Automotive opened up in February of 2023. A multi-unit commercial building, which includes Teriyaki Madness and Tropical Smoothie. Those both opened in November of last year. Looking forward to 2024, one of them has already opened. Crumble Cookie opened earlier just last month. There's also a couple other businesses coming along, including Sharky's Cuts for Kids. And taking over a much larger space is the Burlington Co-Factory, and they're planning on opening mid-2024. And as you know, they're taking over the Bed Bath & Beyond space. Shifting gears slightly, property maintenance and zoning violations. In 2023, the zoning department received 182 complaints, and by the end of, you know all this math, by the end of 2023, we resolved 294 of them. Yeah, so that's good. That's efficient. I'd say that's pretty good.
Slam it.
So we continue to stay active with property maintenance and zoning violations. It's coming up on our annual spring cleanup day. So just looking back at the previous year, I'll just hit some of the numbers. Junk and debris collected at the administration building totaled right around 30 tons of junk and debris. Junk and debris collected at the Tylersville site was not in tonnage, but it was 13 12-yard dumpsters. And we use Junk King with that, and they're a very great partner with that. They the running dumpsters back and forth throughout the day with our guys working down there. In addition to that, we collected two 30-yard dumpsters of passenger tires. We donated 12 pallets of paint to Matthew 25 Ministries. 2 box trucks full of reusable items were collected by Habitat for Humanity Restore, as well as landscape improvements and flowers planted at the police department and fire station 211. We also collected a bunch of paper to be shredded. This year, we'll be holding a very similar event, except it'll be better. It's going to be on April 27th from 10 to 3 p.m. Like years in the past, we'll be accepting all sorts of non-hazardous, non-electronic junk and debris. We're going to be holding 2 locations again, one on Morris Road, one on Tylersville. Like years in the past, Rumpke will be supplying dumpsters here. Junk King will be supplying the dumpsters at Tylersville Road. We'll again be collecting passenger vehicle tires. We're going to be having containers for people to dispose of documents that they want shredded. Those will be secured and locked until Shred It comes and picks those up. We'll be partnering with Matthew 25 again, Habitat for Humanity Restore again. Chick-fil-A is going to be donating lunch for that day, so hopefully everybody can make it out to that. And then just looking at some planning efforts that took place. So in 2022, Fairfield Township was awarded $50,000 from the Ohio Department of Transportation for the development of a school travel plan as part of the Safe Routes to School program. The Safe Routes to School program provides funding for infrastructure to create and promote safer pedestrian corridors for students to and from school. Partnering with Fairfield City Schools and Burgess and Kneippel, and focusing on Fairfield North and East Elementaries, an official school travel plan was developed towards the end of 2023, and Fairfield Township has submitted for funding for a phase of that project, and we'll be bringing a resolution before this board next month. Another planning effort that we're going to be focusing on this year is the updated vision plan and comprehensive plan. Fairfield Township is starting that process, and we've selected a consultant to guide us through that, and that item is also to be considered later this evening. And that's just the highlights, guys. A lot going on.
Excellent work.
Great. I have a couple questions. I'm sure the advertising for the cleanup day is underway, but we're 2 weeks out.
We are advertising. We've sent out mailers. It's been added to multiple events. So it's on.
I saw that. I saw the little postcard.
Yeah.
Are we going to put out signs on the street or anything?
We have some banners we're going to be putting up.
Some big flashing signs, let the people know
Yeah, we'll be putting those up also.
right away.
No,
When are you going to put those up?
I think next
Week
year.
afterwards, or-
Yeah, we're looking May, sometime in May for that.
We need to get the word out. Facebook? Not everybody uses Facebook. So.
There's a lot of people up on the hill that's preparing for it right now.
They know. They know. The event's held the final Saturday in April, and people are starting to catch on to that.
Good, I appreciate your help and the administrator's help on the Cooley Road. I checked every day last week, finally the trash cans were empty. I wish you would get them out of the right of way because you cannot see.
I know.
You cannot see, if you're the driveway above that, you can't see coming up the hill when you pull out.
Yeah.
They're right in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he's running a business out of there, I'm sure that's another violation. He's got a big roll of, I don't know, some kind of cable.
Yeah,
See that when you-
I saw the roll of cable. Yeah, I don't know if he's running a business or just has a roll of
That's
cable.
not personal use, that's for sure. I think
I haven't seen him move.
I have to mark it to see if he's cutting it off.
You should.
The next building over, I think that's 1801, I don't know what happened to the 3 blocks in between. There's a house, there's one more house, and then there's the parking lot for the church.
Mhm.
That house next to it,
Mhm.
turn around in the parking lot and take a picture of that backyard.
There's a backyard
Pretty
program.
scary.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anybody's in that house or whatever, but,
Yeah, I know the front of that house was a disaster.
like.
The 1801,
Is that 1801?
yeah, that was an issue. The property owner is fairly responsive once we finally get a hold of
Driving
them.
around the back?
It sounds like that might be their method, yeah.
There's no telling what kind of things are growing and living back there. I mean, that's,
Okay, yeah, look into that.
but I appreciate the help on the 1649 or whatever that was. The lady across the street's tired of cleaning up this mess because the wind comes that way and blows it right over there. But the trash cans were empty Friday because I checked.
Finally,
Yeah. I mean, really
Yeah.
empty.
yeah.
Not just blowed across the street.
I don't think they know how to use the recycling bin properly. They're stuffing
I
garbage
saw a
into
guy
it.
walk out there and throw something in the trash can. That's all I could do not give him some suggestion. But I did.
Yeah.
And the truck, the big truck got towed away. I don't know who took that. Police, I think, towed the truck away. One that was sitting up there on the street with who knows what in it.
I have a couple of questions. First of all, this safe school travel plan, we're going to need that sooner than later with the failure of the school levy.
Well, yeah.
We're going to have no busing for many of our residents that live less than a mile, might be less than 2 miles from school.
Yeah.
Will not have busing, so
I know.
Morris Road's going to be a parking lot in the morning and afternoon for drop-off and pickup. So I'm sure our fire department and police department are aware of that and are hopefully working with the schools for traffic plans for that. Especially come August when it's brand new and people have no idea how long it's going to take them. They're going to be like lining up an hour before school starts to drop their child off. So,
So the phase that we're applying for right now is not on this end of Morris.
Okay.
It's on the east.
I understand,
But yeah, I mean, I completely.
it might be something we have to address
I agree.
ourselves. I don't know. The other thing is it possible to work with local recycling places that do take the electronics and have some sort of flyer available to the residents that show up with a TV or a refrigerator and say, we can't take it, but here's who does, and
Yeah,
hand them a flyer. And maybe our volunteers can help with that, but
we have a stack of those.
Okay.
Butler Solid Waste and Recycling, they provided that just a few weeks ago.
Great.
So we have a stack of those. We might need some more,
okay.
but we can make some copies or get some more from them. But yeah, we plan on handing those out for sure.
Yeah, and to Mr. McAbee's point, I definitely think the earlier we can get the signs out on to remind residents that it is coming, because they need time to plan. I know spring break just ended for our schools, but they need weeks to get things together, to drop them off, load them in the back of a truck or a trailer. And so the sooner we can put the signs out that advertise that, yep, it's coming up, be ready, the better. Thank you.
Will the shred
Thank you.
boxes be at both locations?
They'll only be at this location.
I see Johnson's is getting close.
You're getting very close.
Looks
You're getting
great.
very close.
Great.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting them to do just a opening of the doors by now, but they haven't, to my knowledge. They would like a ribbon cutting
Absolutely.
in the summer. They want their grass to be green and the business to be running.
Yeah,
So, yeah, they-
looks great.
Or we could take the scissors from the Belmont Park and just drive over to Johnson's
I
and
agree.
use the same scissors to cut that open. Thank you.
All right, administrators report.
Thank you. Well, Pete took my first topic with the ribbon cutting. Thank you, Chuck. Outside of that, Seward Road, I followed up to make sure the TIP has started collecting money, so that's a positive thing. I have not seen the property values added to the auditor's website yet as far as the buildings, but we're collecting the construction, at least the construction worker piece at this point. I have a call into Julie Lepsky at the auditor's office. Very excited to be doing mock interviews at Butler Tech this Thursday, and then straight from there into a collective, possibly our final FOP negotiation. Outside of that, Jeff attended a paving meeting. They are starting base repairs. Rain has kind of kicked that back some, but the base repairs will start with St. Clair to Madison, then to the township. So after that, the milling and paving begins, but we have no date estimate yet. Crack seal, of course, is determined by when we receive the machine, which is shared by everyone in the county. Typically, I feel like you get it in the hottest weather so that it's nice and sticky and cars drive over it, right? Outside of that, I have reached out to East and North. They asked me to follow up after spring break, so spring break is now over. I'm hoping to incorporate something similar as last year where we had a family night with bounce houses and worked with their PTC and had movies and fun. So just find when you collaborate with the schools, there's more family involvement, more kids, and then brings more, traffic and fun to the events. So outside of that, nice thing with BWC, we do not have claims reserves. Our premiums have dropped. In 2025, they have dropped by about $20,000. So now we do have some claims that will come on, but most have dropped off. So right now we have a really good thing going with BWC. That's all I have.
Any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, let's move on to motions.
I move to advertise 2 summer intern positions at a rate of $15 per hour with a 20 to 30 hour work week.
Second, any discussion?
Maybe just a reminder about what we're looking for, age requirement, skills.
Now let's talk a little bit more about what these positions. So one of them I think was looking at the,
One was zoning and one was marketing and communications. So the ideas that you had regarding the welcome packets and different flyers and things like that. And then zoning would be doing probably any work you decided, which I'm guessing is property, pictures, et cetera, to take some of the load off during the busy season.
Yeah, that and they'll have an opportunity to help with the revision of the comprehensive plan. So that could be beneficial for a student.
and get some work done for us too.
Most definitely.
There's a whole big long list if you find somebody to do all this stuff. Review of plans, residential and commercial, inspections for construction.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Trustee Birding?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes,
Trustee McAbey?
Yes,
that passes.
how are we advertising for those?
Well, I'll put it on the website and on Facebook, but I imagine there's gotta be some other places.
Yeah, we'll send it to
There's like,
university.
What about
like
Miami?
Job Monster, whatever it's called, Monster. I know there's some free
OTA.
things like that. Yeah, absolutely. We'll
Miami
find.
might be a good place to find somebody.
Yeah, let's talk with the
Do
Miami
that right
group up
away.
there.
Even Butler Tech, there's students there,
Yeah,
so
sure.
there's a lot of places we can reach out, so we will do our best to be as comprehensive as possible.
Okay, I move to accept the resignation of Savannah Strack as part-time firefighter paramedic with the fire department.
Second.
Any discussion?
Trustee Birding?
Yes?
Trustee McAdie?
Yes?
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that passes. Next motion, please.
Motion to accept the resignation of Jared Fuller.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee McAdie?
Yes?
Trustee Birding?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes. All right, may we have resolution 2443, please?
Sure. Resolution 2443, approving purchase of 19 in-car cameras for the police department from Lenslock Incorporated and the total amount of $143,920 to be paid in a 5-year payment plan of $28,784 and dispensing with the second reading.
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Any discussion?
Is this the resolution that we tabled last, does it have a different number or the same number?
Same number.
Okay.
So do we encumber the whole $143,000 since we're authorizing that?
Well, we haven't yet, since,
If it passes, we will?
yes, we can, we can. We have a PO sheet where we put reoccurring, expenses on it. So if we just do 1 year's worth, then before the next year, we'll do the next payment. That's usually what we do when we have a 5-year payment plan.
And this is, replacements?
They're replacements, they're upgrades based on end of life of the technology. But I actually authored a report March 27th that ties into the also body worn cameras, since they're both related.
This is,
And that's 2444.
do we think these cameras are gonna last 5 years?
Well, it's there's a little bit of a history.
So is that yes?
It is technology, keep that in mind.
Right. So I mean,
There is, go ahead, I'm sorry.
well, I mean, why 5 years? Is it because they'll do it interest-free or?
Most of the major companies have gone to a five-year plan primarily because of the same issue that we found 5 years ago when we purchased them. That is that it's a significant cost to pay up front. The technology has gotten more expensive, obviously, and so what they've done is Axon has 5-year plan, WatchGuard has a 5-year plan. Actually, WatchGuard never returned our call. Lenslock has been working very well with us, but the history is you guys approved, the board approved August 12, 2018, the in-cars, and we implemented it 2018, December. In January 12, 21, you approved the body-worn cameras, which the officers were requesting it. It's just a standard in today's time to have body-worn cameras in addition to in-car cameras. In 2019, which is part of the problem, WatchGuard was purchased by Motorola, so it became a huge company. And we've had challenges in getting them to return calls. Mark Hopkins from Soka has pulled his hair out, also trying to get them to call back because the server went out. So he informed me through an email that since it has failed, a new server will need to be purchased if we stay on the WatchGuard. The cost is about $5,000 or roughly $250 a month. If they're even able to build it, excuse me. It is significant in price. During the last meeting, he came up to me and spoke to me about it, and also said that the current server in its current dysfunctional condition may be open to data breach and viruses. However, they continually monitor to mitigate that potential danger. We went through NPP.gov also to see if that was sufficient enough to provide a procurement process. Mr. Barbier looked into it, and it does. Excuse me. Additionally, we had, since we now are a little bit more experienced in body cams and also in-car cameras, we wanted to go to cloud-based instead of server storage. We wanted a limited data plan. We wanted free 24/7, 365 redaction service, replacement of body-worn cameras when needed, redaction done by the vendor, assist monetarily in the transition from WatchGuard Motorola to the new vendor. The old one who really meant all that was Leslock. We also have a $18,865 grant for body-worn cameras solely. I did not take that off the pricing on the first page. However, I did take it off on the second page. So it goes to $225,940, which includes $143,920 for the in-cars. Excuse me, $100,885 for the body-worn cameras. That's $244,805 minus $18,865. I'm sure you're keeping track of that. Is $225,940. Lenslot met all the specs. They are also helping us out at a transition by removing the cameras from the marked units and placing them in the new units. And that's at a total cost of $13,775, which is $725 per car. Axon was also someone that we contacted, and their best price, including the $18,865 grant, was $251,75.48. They do not include redaction software unless purchased separately, and no financial accommodation to assist us in the transition. Everything, if you look at the supporting documentation, is a la carte. I try to look at it, and I would have to call a scientist or somebody to help me out in figuring out what it is that we need. Lenslok also, in 30 months, will replace all body-worn cameras for free. We also contacted a third vendor, and we don't need to go that direction. That was $55,908.30. So my recommendation is to go to Lenslot. They have been very good to us as it relates to helping us out and make the transition. And we hope they last 5 years. You never know if somebody else buys them out. My understanding, it's a family-owned business out of California, expanding out our way. Excuse me. And we think right now it's the best bet. Can't guarantee for the last 5 years, but with each payment occurring every 5 years, I think that they'll accommodate our needs for 5 years.
We save any money if you just pay it all at once?
They don't do that. It's just
I didn't offer that.
it's just the way that Axon, WatchGuard, from what we understand, because they never call us back, and Lenslot do business.
How long do you want to take?
I've been in contact with them all along. They were going to start after that last meeting that we had. Of course, we found the challenge that we had there, so he texted me this morning, so he's ready. You know, if we have X number of cars, they can't do all the cars locally, so we'll piecemeal that out. So the transition is more the time that it takes to outfit the vehicles with the new equipment and take the old equipment out. So it'll take probably a couple months to get it done.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Trustee Harkemaier.
Yes,
Trustee Birding.
Yes.
Trustee McAbey.
Yes.
that passes. May we have the next resolution, please?
Resolution 2444, approving purchase of 28 body-worn cameras for the police department from Lensock Incorporated in the total amount of $100,885 to be paid in a 5-year payment plan of $20,177 and dispensing with the second reading.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey.
Yes.
Trustee Birding.
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier.
Yes, that resolution passes. May we have the next resolution, please?
Yes, I'm getting there. Sorry. Resolution 2446, approving open purchase order balances.
I move to adopt resolution 24-46.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes. May we have resolution 2447, please?
Resolution 2447, establishing consent agenda policy.
I move to adopt 24-47.
Second, any discussion?
No, I like all the paperwork that's given as far as what the policy or the mode of carrying out this consent agenda. So I appreciate all the work that was done.
Any further discussion?
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes,
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
that motion passes. May we have resolution 2448, please?
Resolution 2448, approving payment to Sedgwick in the amount of $8,425.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes. May we have resolution 2449, please?
Resolution 2449, authorizing academy payment or reimbursement for police department recruits.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just have a question. So the recruits pay the tuition and then we reimburse them.
Over a 3-year period.
Correct. Okay.
Which is the best way we can get a commitment.
Okay.
No, it says academy payment or.
I'm sorry.
I mean, the resolution says authorizing academy payment or reimbursement. So they pay for it and we're gonna pay them back?
That's correct.
Or we're gonna make the payment like it says,
No, we pay them back.
pay them back? So give us an example, or me an example. We're gonna hire some people tonight as recruits.
Correct. So they'll be hired, we will contact them tomorrow. They'll be onboarded as regular employees, obviously to get their insurance. They're not sworn employees, regular employees. Get their insurance, get their payment.
Not regular employees, no, regular employees, not sworn off.
Not sworn officers, no. They're not members of the collective bargaining agreement,
But
but
they're gonna get the benefits of any other full-time employee.
yes, no vacations, no comp time.
No vacation, no comp time,
They do not start probation until they're sworn.
everyone's sworn. We're gonna pay them the first step on the officer's pay.
Correct.
While they're getting trained.
Correct, and why that occurred is in researching, I contacted Oxford, Hamilton.
I know everybody's doing it, but
Yes.
everybody's in the same boat, I understand that.
Yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, please go ahead.
So they start right away. How long does it take from the day they sign to the day they're ready to be sworn?
The 4 that we have been in the academy for a while, so they graduate sometime in June. As soon as they graduate, they come to the police department and work with us, policy review, et cetera, and then until they receive, and then they take the test probably in July. They don't know the date yet. Once they receive the results, we get the results. They don't. It used to be the recruit got the results, not anymore. We get the results. At that moment in time, we'll set up a swearing in with.
If they pass.
Yeah, yes, correct. If they pass, correct. If they don't pass, they have, I think, a second chance. Rest assured that we have spoken to them, and we wouldn't be at this stage if we didn't believe that they would pass. They're, according to the academy commander, they're doing stellar. Physically, they're doing great. So, is there a chance they might not pass something? There always is, but I think it's about as good a bet as we can have. So
those people are already in the academy, so they have made their payment. They have paid for
that
their
is
academy.
correct. That's correct.
So a year from now, we're gonna Pay them back 1/3?
Correct. A year after that, another 1/3.
1/3?
Yes. It boils down to 3/3.
Very good.
So it's new for us, I understand. A lot of agencies are doing it, and I've talked to Mr. Barbier about reimbursement, and he.
What about the one we hired tonight?
She is already certified.
So are we gonna pay her back?
No, because she wasn't part of that.
She wasn't part of that. I just wondered because,
Yes,
you know, she's.
Right.
Somebody paid for her academy.
Correct. That we want to move forward with that effective tonight after the approval, but she really wasn't part of that. She was already certified and has been certified for a little bit. I think she passed the test maybe a week or two ago. And she was aware of, what we were offering people in the academy, so, and she's dying to come on.
That's all I had on that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
No.
Mrs. Schultz?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Birdie?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes.
So that establishes the procedure for that, right? Just by doing that?
Yes.
I mean, we don't have the names on there, we just agreed that that's going to be our policy going forward, if it's appropriate.
Yes.
Right.
Just to be clear, if their hire date is the day they start with now, are we gonna start accruing vacation when the day they're sworn in then?
They become, well, first of all, insurance doesn't set it until I think it's,
The first day after the 30 days.
correct,
Right.
30 days, so that's in effect. If you approve it, then for each individual, then it would be 30 days after today. As it relates to vacation, they would be considered probationary officers, so whatever a probationary officer used to get, it'll be the same thing.
Which they start accruing from day one, but can't use until so it'll be the day it'll be immediately?
It will be, the order by which and I talked to Barbier about this, in which they're set in the resolution is the order of seniority.
Okay,
So I think it's prayer number 1 on down.
okay.
So that we have established seniority list when they come on. And, they become basically probationary officers with a year probation.
Accruing sick, accruing vacation, everything. Okay.
Nothing changes.
They don't become probationary until they're sworn in.
Correct.
That's why they say on here they're employees of will while they're in the academy.
But their hire date will be immediately.
Whatever date we have in the resolution to hire them.
Okay.
And they will be regular employees, not sworn.
They will be, correct.
Okay, so I'll have to find out about OPERS, how that'll work. So I'll let you know if they'll have OPERS taken out, because it's OPERS law, and I don't think it'll come out unless they're sworn. So they might have OPERS general until they're sworn.
Probably not.
And then it'll have to go to OPERS law, probably, but I'll check with OPERS. Okay, and you'll let us know when to reimburse the third? Or do you want me to?
Yeah, we will, keep track of that, and then we will do that.
A year from the time they're sworn,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
May we have resolution 2450, please?
Resolution 2450, authorizing the appointment of full-time police recruit Travis Joseph Prater at an hourly rate of $27.83.
I move to adopt resolution 24-50.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just to add a little bit there, I believe there might have been a prior resolution that was passed to cover reimbursement, but not health insurance.
There was.
And there was, correct.
Yes.
Any discussion?
Trustee Birdie?
Yes.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes. May we have the next resolution, please?
Resolution 2451, authorizing the appointment of full-time police recruit Deontay Tipton at an hourly rate of $27.83.
Did we skip one? Or did I miss one?
No, we're on 2151, or 2451. We just adopted 2450
That was Prater.
for
Yeah.
Prater.
Okay.
Okay. I move to adopt resolution 24-51.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes. That passes. May we have resolution 2452, please?
Resolution 2452, authorizing the appointment of full-time police recruit Ashton Corinne Bath at an hourly rate of $27.83.
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
That resolution passes. May we have resolution 2453, please?
Resolution 2453, authorizing the appointment of full-time police recruit Nesh Mahat at an hourly rate of $27.83.
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes. May we have resolution 2455, please?
Resolution 2455, authorizing the sale or auction of vehicles value greater than $2,500, which are obsolete, unfit, or unneeded for public use. And those items include 2014 Dodge Charger, 2011 Ford Crown Victoria, and a 2008 Ford Crown Victoria.
I move to adopt 24-55.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that passes. May we have resolution 2456, please?
Resolution 2456, authorizing the sale or destruction of police department property which is obsolete, unfit, or unneeded for public use. And this included a host of radios and cameras, lenses, vehicle seats, bikes, mailboxes that I just asked that the police chief please list it out so that you could see the items.
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that passes. May we have resolution 2457, please?
Resolution 2457, dispersing $657,859.09 from the tax increment financing funds numbers 2904, 2906, 2908, and 2910 for distribution of TIP monies collected to the Fairfield City School District.
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Any discussion?
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes. May we have resolution 2458, please?
Resolution 2458, authorizing administrator to execute a contract with Steward Land Use for the development of an updated comprehensive plan for Fairfield Township at a total cost not to exceed $34,500.
I move to adopt 24-58.
Second?
Any discussion?
Will we be paying as we go on this, or?
The invoices will be billed monthly.
See, it says $2,500 per month.
Any further discussion?
Trustee Burden?
Yes.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that passes. May we have resolution 2459, please?
Resolution 2459, authorizing the administrator to sign the deed of gift document with the Butler County Historical Society for the transfer of Fairfield Township historical documents.
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Discussion? I think this is good because we have a lot of interesting historical documents that I think it's good that they're being preserved. I would just ask that we make sure that we include the recorder's location in our records retention policy. And we might need to submit that update to the state of Ohio when we go to submit that too. So I just want to make sure that we've incorporated that.
We did discuss that with the law director, so the fiscal officer is on that and we'll work together.
Excellent.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Birding?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes. May we have resolution 2463, please?
Resolution 2463, awarding paramedic tuition payment for firefighter EMT Ashton McCain to Butler Tech Paramedic Program at a cost not to exceed $11,000.
Motion to adopt.
Second, any discussion?
I will be abstaining from this vote since the payment is being made to Butler Tech directly.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes,
Trustee Birding?
Abstain.
and that resolution passes. May we have the next resolution, please?
Resolution 2464, approving repair of storm sewer piping at Ashwood Knolls subdivision from Curry and Sons Construction Company at a cost not to exceed $12,000.
I move to adopt resolution 24-64.
Second.
Any discussion?
Trustee Birding?
Yes.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes, that resolution passes. May we have resolution 2465, please?
Resolution 2465, declaring nuisance and ordering abatement on the properties listed below, and further authorizing the zoning administrator to initiate complaint. Properties include 3701 Winter Hill Drive for fence not maintained in a safe manner, and 3770 Stockbridge Lane for junk and debris.
I move to adopt resolution 24-65.
Second, any discussion?
Trustee Birding?
Yes.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes,
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
that resolution passes. Under announcements, we will be, Career Fest at Fairfield High School is going to be Thursday, April 18th, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. We've got Spring Cleanup Day, Saturday, April 27th, 2024, from 10 to 3. The City of Fairfield JED Board meeting will be Monday, May 13th, 2024, at 9 a.m. And our next Fairfield Township Board of Trustees meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 14th, 2024, at 7 p.m. Are there any board member comments?
The cement is done.
Yes, the curb and gutters all completed, and I think they finished Friday. Yeah.
I saw, write a big check to them.
Turned out nice. Had several compliments on it, and I passed that on to the contractor.
I know what this one Jesse's laid. It's great.
Yeah.
I think the Easter egg drop was the most awesome event I've ever attended at Fairfield Township, probably the most attended event on this property. I think there were more people here than residents in Fairfield Township, to be honest with you, but everyone wanted to see the helicopter. Thankfully, the weather held out. It rained a little bit before, but which delayed the helicopter because of storms at the airport, ironically. Gosh, the residents just loved it. The kids were in awe of the experience. And I want to thank all the employees that took the care and time to make sure it was a safe event for our youngsters, and obviously carrying it out. It was just tremendous, and just so many great comments about it. look forward to next year's event. Of course, the solar eclipse event yesterday was amazing. Again, very well organized, thanks to our partnership with Walmart for pulling that off. And the weather, again, cooperated. I mean, the most beautiful day you could have for an eclipse was yesterday. We were very fortunate. And again, thanks to all the employees for coming and helping out. And it was a nice little cookout beforehand. Very well attended. It was great for our family. We had 4 generations of Birdings here in Fairfield Township watching the eclipse, which is a historical event. It won't be around again until, I think, 2099. I plan on being there, but we'll see how that goes. But again, thank you for all the staff for doing that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'd like to read a comment. We had a costume contest, and the person that won it sent me this. It says, "Hi, this is Jamie from the Eclipse Watch Party today. My mom and sister were asking about the website and wanting the pictures. Then she said, thanks so much. Fun event, beautiful day. Here's the part I really like. Every Fairfield Township employee we encountered, Parks and Rec, police, fire, etc., were very courteous and helpful. Please pass along our gratitude." So I thought that was wonderful. There were people in, I think someone was talking about someone being here from Lexington. They drove up and they picked us. So that was kind of cool. Very well attended. I thought Walmart was extremely creative. They gave us Capri Sun. Oh, okay, well,
We can give the credit to Walmart, that's fine. I found myself clever, but then I'm sure all kinds of people, no, they were great.
Well, I loved it.
They were great. So I never take credit, I'm kidding.
Okay.
It was your idea.
Well, whoever came up with it, we had Capri Sun, cosmic brownies, moon pies. What am I missing? Starburst.
Did you notice the music?
The music.
Don't let the sun go down on me.
Yeah,
And
shout out to Butler Tech.
Here comes the sun, or here comes the sun when the sun was coming back.
Yeah.
That was Nick, I think.
Well, I think Butler Tech put together.
They did. You let us know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So I think
right.
it was like at 150, it'll be perfect, and it was.
It was
lined up perfectly.
hilarious.
The music
It was hilarious.
fantastic. Yeah, very well done. Thanks for everyone coming together for that event. It was great that we did that together. I think it's fantastic that folks are doing the interviews at Butler Tech on Thursday. I apologize, I have OKI at that time, or I would have attended that as well, but I think that's a great thing, and we've got some people participating in that too, so very cool.
Still have openings if people are done with tax season and they have time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a look. Okay, I move according to ORC 121. Oh, wait, hold on. Any more board member comments?
I just want to thank Tim Bowman for his contribution to the Easter egg event. He was great to work with, and I think he's got many more things planned to team up with Administrator Vonderhaar to have events for our residents. So shout out to him. I meant to mention him, and I failed to. So thank you.
So, in accordance with ORC 121.22, Section G1, to consider the discipline, appointment, employment, or compensation of a public employee or official, and ORC 121.22, Section G4, to discuss collective bargaining sessions with employees concerning their compensation and other terms and conditions of employment. I move to go into executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
Trustee Harkemaier?
Yes?
Trustee Birdie?
Yes.
Trustee McAbey?
Yes.
And we will go into executive session at approximately 9:41. Action may or may not be taken as a result of executive session. Thank you all. Oh, there's cake.